so sensational. Today is like cause for celebration, which is why I got on my party dress. No heels. Next year, I'll be wearing heels. But I've reached 300 subscribers. And it's like a celebration. It's good. I know some of you might be thinking, well, there are people out here with millions of subscribers. To that, I say, first of all, I don't need that negative energy. And second, we're not talking about them, we're talking about me. And I'm so happy for each and every one of you that subscribe. Even happier for those who like my video and watch it. So thank you, and thank you again. Please continue to watch. So today, I'm talking about diabetes, the big elephant in the room, and the reason for all of this. What made me think about having this as a topic is I was on my way to get my hair done, and my driver, we were having like this great conversation. And he happened to say to me that you can touch lives with your story. And when I think about it, that's what I want. But first we need to get to the root of it. So I want you to know that being blind or having a disability does not stop life. But I also want you to know that if it can be avoided, do whatever you can so that you don't have to live life blind or as an amputee. You know, unless it's something else. But if diabetes is the cause, take it from me, do what you're supposed to do. So my story goes back a little bit to my kid's father. When I met him, we were young. I was 20, he was 22. He told me he was a diabetic, but the only time I saw him take medicine is if he was feeling bad. And then it wasn't even prescribed. You know how you can go to the pharmacy and buy regular insulin? So he would take that. In late 2005, started getting sick. 2006 is when edema started. That's where, you know, you swell up your legs. His had gotten so bad. He's a slim guy, but he had gained so much weight from fluid, and it was hard for him to walk. And that's because of the edema. I'm sure if things had went a little further, he probably would have ended up on dialysis. But unfortunately, we didn't get that far. So he did that, and then a couple of months later, we noticed a lot of coughing. Like, we thought it was maybe a cold or a virus, you know, a lot of coughing and throwing up. So we went to the emergency room, but the wait was long, didn't want to stay. Went home. That following week, I was at work, and he called and said he was going to the emergency room. Got there, came to find out he had pneumonia. So when I went to see him, me and my husband were a lot alike. Like, the struggle was so real, but there were so many things we wanted to do, and so many things we did do, and I'm thinking it was because he didn't have long, so we had to enjoy life. So we were making plans about what we're going to do when he get out. We was going to start all over and all of this other kind of thing. Next day, I'm at work. I get a call from the hospital that my husband had stopped breathing. So, of course, by the time I got to the hospital, he had already passed. At 31, he'd had a heart attack, brought on by congestive heart failure, which, you know, accounted for all of the coughing and the throwing up. He had congestive heart failure and had a heart attack. And this was all brought on by his diabetes. So I never knew that he had congestive heart failure until after he passed. So the thing is, if you're diabetic, go to the doctor. So you would think after this happens that, because I know I'm a diabetic, that I would be more careful, right? No. So fast forward to me, around 39, and this is when everything happened with me, when I had a hemorrhage in my eye. I lost my sight due to diabetic retinopathy. So I've known since every child that I've had. I have had 3 pregnancies. I got twins and 2 boys. So with each pregnancy, I had gestational diabetes. Each time it went away, except for the last time with the twins. So, and you know, I'm a diabetic, so you have to take insulin. And my thing was, I didn't want to take insulin because insulin makes you gain weight, which it does make you gain weight, which is why you're supposed to watch what you eat. You know, as a diabetic, you're supposed to see a nutritionist so they can tell you what to eat so you can watch out for carbs and fats, you know, eat healthy so that you won't have to take as much insulin and it doesn't make you gain weight. But my thing was I just want to take it at all because I don't want to be fat. And you see how that worked out for me. So everything was after I lost my sight, I started taking my insulin as directed. As I said before in other videos, me losing my lower leg was more neglect than anything. If I had did what I was supposed to do on time, I think it could have been saved. But me going to urgent care and them not telling me the right directive and waiting on referrals, that caused me to lose my leg. I think if, you know, things had been a little different, if I had moved a little quicker, I wouldn't have lost it. But still, it's because of the circulation from diabetes that caused me not to have as much blood flow. So with that being said, after all of this happened, so this year, ever since I had my amputation, I'm doing good. My A1C is always, I think last was like 7.8 or below, 6.1. So it's always pretty good. So then I started keto diet about a month ago. And so in all of my infinite wisdom, I thought, well, I'm not eating any sugar, so I don't need any insulin. Wrong. I am a type 1 diabetic, so I always need insulin. This thinking and not taking my insulin ended me up in the emergency room with diabetic ketoacidosis. So diabetic ketoacidosis is when because my body doesn't produce the insulin, and it needs insulin. Because I didn't have it, it was breaking down those things and putting it through my bloodstream, which can be fatal. But I made it through, and coming this close to, you know, having another serious thing happen, all because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to. I just thought it was important to have this video. If you're diabetic, now I'm still doing keto off and on because the reviews are kind of mixed as to whether or not a type 1 diabetic can do keto. So I still take my insulin. The doctor in the hospital told me that regardless of anything, because my body doesn't make it, I need to take my insulin. And so now I feel much better. But that was the worst pain that I've almost ever been through. I never felt that kind of pain. So again, I just want everyone to know, if you're diabetic or if you know someone who's a diabetic, you can tell them, watch this video. This is what can happen to you if you don't do what you're supposed to do. So I went blind. I'm an amputee. My husband died at 31 from a heart attack brought on by because of complications from diabetes. So just take that into consideration, and like my title says, a precautionary tale. If it helps just one person, then that's enough. And so that's it for today. I just want everybody, again, thank you for watching So Sensational. Please take heed to what I said. Like I said, if you know anybody, or if it's you, take diabetes really seriously. Diabetes, it can wreck your major organs: liver, kidneys, eyes, heart, all of those things. So it's really not anything to play with. So thank you so much for watching. Promise my next video will be more on the upbeat. I'm going back home to South Carolina, and I'll be doing another disability diaries video. So that'll be really interesting and fun. Again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for helping me get to 300 subscribers. Share with your friends, tell your people. Get me up there, get me to 1,000. Let's do that. Thank you so much for watching So Sensational. Please continue to support me, and I appreciate all of you. See you next week.